The Prince and the Pauper. Chapter 2. In the middle of the night, the family quickly left home after a warning that John Canty was being searched for as a murderer. When they got to London Bridge, there was a great crowd. The people were singing and dancing. Canty was still holding on to him, but when a big man started a car, the prince escaped into the crowd. He went to the Guildhall and tried to make himself known, but the crowd only laughed and mocked at him. Then there was a bored stranger standing nearby. "You're a brave boy," he cried, and took him in his arms and away from the crowd. As they left, a messenger began to speak and announced, "The king is dead." The stranger took the prince to a little inn on London Bridge, where he was staying. The little prince, or now the little king, was so tired that he fell asleep. When he woke up, he looked around him sadly. "You're brave," he said to the stranger. "Who are you?" "I am Miles Hendon," he answered, and began to tell his story. "My father, Sir Richard, is a very rich and generous man, but my younger brother is wicked and turned my father against me. I was sent away to fight in the wars. I was captured there and put in a foreign prison for many years, but I got free and have just returned." Then the little king told his own story. At the end, Miles thought to himself, "Poor boy, crazy or sane, he's a good boy, and I will be his friend." The next day, Miles Handel went out to buy a used suit for a boy, but when he returned, the king was nowhere to be seen. Miles set out to look for him. The king had left the inn with a man who told him that Miles was lying wounded in the woods. John Canty followed him and forced him into a barn full of beggars. The gang split up to rob people. The man named Hugo began to moan and roll his eyes. When a stranger came near, he screamed as if he were in pain. "Please, sir, give me a penny to buy a little food. My brother will tell you how sick I am," Hugo said. "A penny! I will give you 3, you poor man," the stranger said. "Come here and help me carry your brother to the house over there." "He's not my brother," said the king. "What? Not your brother? Who is he then?" "A beggar and a thief," he said. "He has picked your pocket. Hit him with your stick and see what happens." Hugo sprang to his feet and ran away. The king ran the other way, out of the village. Soon night came. The little king was cold and hungry. Suddenly he saw the light from a lantern. It stood by the open door of a barn. He crept into the barn and lay down. The night wind was blowing, but he slept comfortable. Morning came. Just as he was getting up, 2 little girls came in. They stared at him. "Who are you, boy?" one of them asked. "I am the king," was his answer. "The king? What king?" "The King of England." The children looked confused, but took him to their mother. She felt sorry for the crazy boy and gave him breakfast. Then she told him to wash the dishes. This surprised him very much. He felt angry, but obeyed her. He found the cleaning of dishes and spoons harder than he had thought. When he had finished, she gave him more little jobs to do. Just after dinner, the king saw John Canty and Hugo coming towards the gate. He slipped away. He did not look back until he was deep in the forest. As he went on, the forest became denser. He was scared to think that he would have to spend the night alone in such a terrible place. How glad he was when he saw a small light. It came from the window of a little hut. He walked to it carefully and looked inside. The room was small and the floor was dirt. In a corner he saw a bed with some blankets. An old man in a sheepskin robe was praying near a candle. Holy hermit, the king said to himself. He knocked, and the hermit answered in a deep voice, "Come in." The hermit looked at the king and said, "Who are you?" "I am the king. Welcome. You have turned many people away. I have turned many people away. But the king who wants no riches is welcome. He will be at peace here." The king tried to explain, but the hermit was taking to himself. The king began to wish he was somewhere else. After the king fell asleep on the bed, the hermit said, "It was his father that made us suffer." He bent over the king with a long knife. Then he tried the king's hands and ankles and put a bandage over his mouth. The king was helpless. At that moment he heard voices near the cabin. "Open the door," a voice demanded. It was the voice of Miles Hendon. "Where is the boy?" "What boy? Don't lie to me." "Those men said they had followed the boy to this cabin." "Oh, the rag boy. I sent him to fetch something. He will be back soon." "When?" "In a minute." "You are lying. He wouldn't go on an errand for you or anyone else." "Why? Wait, what is that noise?" Miles said. The king had been trying to make himself heard, but he couldn't. "Noise? I hear only the wind," the hermit replied. Then the king heard them leave. But soon the door opened again, and there stood John Canty and Hugo. They grabbed the king and took him into the forest.